Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Longchamp Racecourse here on Saturday. It is October the 5th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the program from Longchamp. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me tomorrow for my Arc de Triomphe preview video here from Longchamp. Excellent card today on this Saturday at Longchamp. We're going to look at all the stakes races, so races 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8. So races 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8. So let's get on to it. We have quite a few longer races, which I really like towards the end of the card. But let's start off with the opener. The first race, it is the Group 2 Prix de Royallieu. It's a Group 2 race going for a purse of $230,500, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 6 horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Line of Duty. I'm going to go 4-6-1 in the TriCast trifecta. 4-6-1 TriCast trifecta. Top selection of 4-horse Line of Duty. The 3-year-old colt by Galileo here. William Buick picks the mount up. The horse's most recent outing came on the 8th of September here at Longchamp. 1 mile in the Group 1 Prix de Moulin de Longchamp, and the horse finished third by length. He ran okay, but Circus Maximus, who's the best, seems like right now, the best miler in Europe, just took off clear at the end. Might have interfered with the Romanized late, but judges said nothing was wrong. Very good run. He improved a lot that day. They could have probably ran him in the 4A tomorrow, but they said, you know what, let's take go to the mile and a quarter trip, a lesser quality race. I think they'll get the check with this one today. Before then, the Group 1 Prix Jacques Maurice at Deauville, 1 mile down the straightaway. First time facing older horses. He ran absolutely disaster. Never got into it. Beat nobody home. It just wasn't his day to win. They're asking a little bit too much too soon there. And then before that, he ran the Derby at a mile and a half, finished 9th by 8 lengths, and he just hit the wall. He's not a horse that's going to get that trip. He's cutting back to a mile and a quarter here today. Step down class from the last one. I think this is the right trip for him. He's drawn well. Even money, that's the only thing that sucks. We'll have to TriCast to make some extra money with this race. So here's my TriCast to recap my selections for race number 1 from Longchamp. It's the Group 2 Prix de Royallieu. Gonna go with the 4-horse Line of Duty. We'll go 4-6-1 in the TriCast trifecta. So now let's get to race number 3 from Longchamp, which is the Group 2 Prix Daniel Wildenstein Stakes. It's a Group 2 race going for a purse of $230,500, race for 3-year-olds and upwards, with a field of 5 horses going 1,600 meters, or the trip of ground of 1 mile on the Longchamp turf course. And I show the diagram. Just gives me a little second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. I can't do 2 things at the same time. Also, I get very stressed out doing these videos sometimes, especially with it being ARC weekend. But the top selection, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Shaman. I'm going to go 4-1-2 in the TriCast trifecta here. 4-1-2 TriCast trifecta. Top selection, the 4-horse Shaman. This 3-year-old colt by Chamardal here, whose offspring this year have been running exceptionally well. Maxime Guillon is on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 8th of September here at Longchamp. 1 mile in the Group 1 Prix de Moulin de Longchamp, and the horse finished 6 by 2 3/4 lengths. It really didn't have a good run, never got a good trip, and it wasn't the day to win. Before that, again, in the Prix Jacques Maurice at Deauville, the horse, again, never got the good turn of foot, and he just couldn't catch Romanized. But he had a decent place there. It was still better than the race after the Prix de Moulin de Longchamp. And then before that, they took the horse to Ascot in England to run in the Group 1 St. James Palace. The horse finished 5th by 2 3/4 lengths, and I don't think he liked the softest ground there. But before that, he ran some good races on the turf here at Longchamp. Had a very good place in the Prix d'Essai de Paulins, the French 2,000 guineas, and then the Prix La Force. He won that very nicely going the mile late trip back in April. He's a horse, he's going to like the mile trip. He's drawn well. Let's give him another shot with a step-down class from the last one. Let's take him at 2-1. So to recap my selection for the 3rd from Longchamp, it is the Group 2 Prix Daniel Wildenstein. Let's take the 4-horse Shaman. We'll go 4-1-2 in the TriCast trifecta. Race number 6 now. It's beginning of the longer staying races here. The 6th race feature of the afternoon, it's the Group 1 Prix de Royallieu Stakes. It's a Group 1 race going for a purse of $346,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have 9 horses going to the turf course, a distance of ground of 2,800 meters or 1.75 miles on the Longchamp lawn, the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 1-horse Anabar. Hopefully I said that right. I'm going to go 1-5 in the forecast exacta. That's the top 2 basically. 1-5 exact. The top selection 1-horse Anabar. Moctuno owns. John Gosden trains. Jim Crowley comes in to ride the horse. This horse has proven she wants to. She wants to stay. Her most recent outing though was in a mile trip, and I don't know why the hell they ran her at a mile at Doncaster in the Group 2 Park Hill Stakes. She won by nose that day, but it wasn't the most impressive victory. She got there at the end. She got the job done, but she wants to go longer. A mile and a half at the minimum. 1.75 is even better. Before then, the Lulu Langtree Stakes at Goodwood. 1.75 August 3rd. She won by 5 that day, and she destroyed the competition. She could have won around another 6 furlongs and still won that easily. A very good run. And then Lancashire Oaks, the Haydock, 1.5 mile trip. She won by a neck that day, and again, she stayed the trip well, and she went away with it, and she had a very good place before then, the Bronte Cup at York, behind Dramatic Queen. She wasn't going to catch Dramatic Queen, who had to jump on her, but this horse staying there for the first time this season. She ran a good effort. Good post drop. Everything points to her here. Even money is the only bad thing about her. So to recount my selection for the 6th from Longchamp, or Paddy Longchamp, shall we say, which nobody calls it, but it's the 6th race. It's the Group 1 Prix de Royallieeu. Let's take the 1-horse Anabar. We'll go 1-5 in the forecast exacta. The race number 7 now from Longchamp. It is the Group 2 Prix Chaudénay Stakes. It's a Group 2 race going for a purse of $230,500, race for 3-year-olds only. We have a field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 3,000 meters or 1.78 miles on the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to take the number 7 horse Technician. I'm going to go 7-1 in the forecast exacta. 7-1 forecast exacta. Top selection 7 horse Technician. 3-year-old colt by Master Craftsman. Pierre Charles Boudot gets the leg up from Art Mead. 9-1 here. His most recent outing came the 14th of September at Doncaster. 1 mile 3/4 and the St. Ledger, and the horse finished 6 by 6.5 lengths there. Lost my train of thought for a second, but the horse was on the drive, and you're just kind of hitting the wall. Just couldn't keep up with those slightly better horses there. This race is not nearly as deep as the last run, and I just think he'll run a lot better. Before that, at Newbury, 1.5/8 in the Group 3 Jeffrey Freer Stakes, he won by 3/4 length, and he got the good turn of foot, and he got the job done. A very good run. And then at Goodwood in the Group 3 Gordon Stakes finished 6 by 6 lengths. First off the break, he hit the wall completely that day. Maybe the ground was a little bit softer than he wanted, but he just ran crap. He has started here at Longchamp in the past. Back in June 13th, he ran a listed stakes here, and he won by a nose. Ocean Murphy came in town to ride the horse, so he must have thought big about the horse to come in on a Thursday evening. But this horse got a great trip on the outside. He held on to a victory at 4-1. It was a very good run for him. Before that, he was on the Derby Trail. He ran the Chester Vase where he ran crap, and then ran a decent race, I thought, in the Classic Trial Sandown behind Bangkok. But he's going to love the staying trip. He's drawn well. 9-1. I think he could be your upsetter here, so let's take him. So to recount my selection for the 7th from Longchamp, it's Group 2 Prix Chaudénay. I'm going to take the 7 horse Technician. We'll go 7-1 in the forecast exacta. Now the staying horses will go to race number 8, even longer staying, where we're increasing this distance as we go on. The 8th race from Longchamp, it is the Group 1 Prix de CADRAN. It's a Group 1 race going for a purse of $346,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going 4,000 meters or 2.5 miles on the Longchamp turf course. The race basically begins where the Prix de Forêt begins, the 7 furlong start, and goes all the way around the Grande Piste and all that crap. But the top selection, I'm going to go with the 1 horse DXB. I'm going to go 1-3 in the exacta, 1-3 forecast exacta, but the top selection is 1 horse DXB. If there's a horse that's your most likely winner today, I think it's going to be him, because he's going off some major class relief, and we'll get to that in a second. He's 6-5 here. Miguel Barcelona gets on this one for the injured Sylvester de Sousa, but the horse's most recent outing came 23rd of August at York, 2 miles in the Lonsdale Cup, and he placed behind Stradivarius, who's the best stayer in the world. This horse just couldn't get the good turn of foot there, and Stradivarius, won, could have won around another 5 times. It doesn't get any ease of that for him. Before that, Goodwood Cup, he gave Stradivarius a good run for his money. He nearly stayed well. He nearly got the victory, but Stradivarius just had that little late. And then before that, in the Gold Cup at Ascot, 2.5 miles, finished second by a length. And he was closing up well, but Stradivarius still had the jump. And then the Matchbook VIP Henry II Stakes, he won by 1 3/4 lengths at the 2 mile trip that Thursday afternoon evening at Sandown. He just won quite nicely, and then he won the Cigaro at Ascot very nicely. He proves he wants to stay. He's getting. He's not. He's not going to be the bridesmaid to Stradivarius today. At 6-5, let's take him. Another crap price, but I think he's your very likeliest winner today. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Longchamp, it's the Group 1 Prix de CADRAN. Let's take the 1-horse DXB. We'll go 1-3 in the forecast exacta. So, Galactuam, please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.